In a quiet town, nestled away from the bustling world, stood a house that whispered secrets. The home of the Holloway family. Once vibrant and full of life, it now lay in eerie silence, concealing a mystery that had baffled investigators for years. The Holloways were once the picture of happiness. James, the father, was a dedicated worker, known for his commitment to his job and his family. Sarah, the mother, radiated warmth and kindness, often volunteering in the community. Their two children, Lily and Ben, were bright and full of energy, lighting up any room they entered. But in 2015, their lives took a dark turn. The family vanished without a trace, leaving behind only unanswered questions and a community gripped by fear. Local authorities launched a massive search effort, combing through the town and surrounding areas. They interviewed neighbors, searched local parks, and even checked nearby forests. But no clues surfaced. What happened behind those walls? What secrets lay hidden in the shadows? As time passed, the case grew colder, but the mystery remained alive, haunting the town and sparking whispers of what could have truly happened. Years later, a brave group of amateur detectives decided to take on the case. With the weight of the Holloway family story on their shoulders, they gathered in the town square, discussing their plans. Jake, a charismatic leader, encouraged the group. "We have to find out what happened. This family deserves to be remembered." Equipped with flashlights and a sense of purpose, the group made their way to the Holloway home. As they approached the house, they felt a chill in the air, as if the very atmosphere held its breath. This place had been untouched for years, like a time capsule waiting to reveal its secrets. Once inside, they stepped carefully, taking in the dust-covered furniture and the remnants of family life. The living room still held a faint scent of vanilla from candles Sarah used to burn. The group spread out, searching for anything that might provide a clue. As they sifted through old toys and clothes, Maya, one of the detectives, called out, "Guys, look! There's an attic." The others gathered around, excitement brewing in the air. They climbed the creaking stairs, each step echoing their anticipation. In the attic, they found a dusty old chest, nearly hidden beneath a pile of forgotten belongings. Maya exclaimed, "What's this?" "It's locked, but the hinges look rusty." Eli, ever cautious, warned, "Wait, let's be careful. This could contain something important." After some effort, they pried it open. Inside lay a family journal filled with heart-wrenching entries chronicling their struggles, fears, and dreams, all leading up to their disappearance. Jake began reading aloud, his voice steady but tinged with emotion. Sarah wrote about feeling trapped, overwhelmed. She mentioned arguments with James that grew more intense. Maya flipped through the pages, her brow furrowing. "And look here," she talks about a secret she was keeping. What could it be? The atmosphere shifted as they pieced together the Holloway story. A sense of dread settled over them, as if the very walls were closing in. Eli, feeling anxious, whispered, "Did you guys hear that? I swear I just saw something move over there." Maya, trying to stay focused, replied, "Let's stay on task. We're here for answers, not to get spooked." The tension in the room was palpable. Jake said, "What if they didn't leave willingly? What if they were taken? We need to consider all possibilities." Maya's voice broke as she responded, "They were a family. It's heartbreaking to think about what they endured. They deserve justice." With renewed determination, the detectives decided to check the basement, hoping to uncover more clues. As they descended into the dark space, the air grew colder and the weight of the past echoed around them. They began to search through old furniture and boxes, each item a reminder of the life that once filled the home. In the basement, Maya found an old photo album hidden behind a stack of boxes. "Guys, look! This album is filled with pictures from their family trips. They look so happy here," she said, her voice softening. But as they flipped through the pages, Eli observed, "But they don't look happy in the later photos." Something changed. Jake sighed. It's like they were slowly unraveling. This isn't just a story of disappearance. It's a story of family in crisis. They gathered around a table, piecing together their findings. Jake noted, "We need to consider how fear and desperation can drive people to make drastic decisions. They weren't just a family. They were individuals battling their demons." Maya suggested reaching out to neighbors, believing they might have seen or heard something unusual leading up to the disappearance. "We need to know what the community noticed. Sometimes, the smallest detail can be a breakthrough," she said, her resolve strengthening. With determination, they began interviewing those who lived nearby. One neighbor recounted, "I remember hearing loud arguments coming from their house. It was unsettling. I thought about calling the police, but I didn't. I wish I had. Each conversation brought them closer to uncovering the truth, revealing a family bound by love yet torn apart by hidden secrets. The weight of their investigation grew heavier. Each revelation painted a more complex picture of the Holloways, a family caught in a web of their own making. They learned that Sarah's journal hinted at fears that ran deeper than anyone realized. As they continued their search, they felt a growing responsibility to honor the Holloways' memory and seek justice for their tragic fate. Days turned into weeks as the detectives pored over their notes, piecing together the timeline before the family's disappearance. They discovered that the Holloways had recently experienced significant financial strain. James had lost his job, and Sarah was struggling to keep the family afloat. The pressures of life were mounting, and it became clear that the family was under immense stress. One evening, while reviewing their findings, Maya said, "Well, the financial troubles led them to make desperate choices. Maybe they were trying to escape a situation they felt they couldn't control." Jake nodded thoughtfully. Or perhaps someone saw an opportunity in their vulnerability. We need to dig deeper into their interactions with people in the community. They decided to delve into the family's social connections, interviewing friends and acquaintances. One friend shared, "Sarah mentioned feeling isolated and overwhelmed. She confided in me about her fears, but I never imagined it would lead to something like this." As they gathered more information, a picture began to emerge of a family battling not only external pressures, but internal struggles as well. They learned about a neighbor who had seen James arguing with a stranger just days before the family disappeared. This revelation sent chills down their spines. "We need to track down that stranger," Jake insisted. "He could hold the key to uncovering what happened to the Holloways." As the detectives continued their investigation, they felt the weight of the Holloway family story pressing down on them. Each new piece of information deepened their commitment to finding the truth. They discovered that Sarah had been trying to reach out for help, but the stigma surrounding mental health kept her from finding the support she needed. One evening, as they gathered to discuss their findings, Maya said, "It's heartbreaking to think that Sarah felt she had no one to turn to. The pressure must have been unbearable." Jake replied, "We can't let their story end here. We owe it to them to shine a light on their struggles and help others understand the importance of seeking help in times of crisis." With renewed purpose, the detectives decided to hold a community meeting, inviting locals to come share their thoughts and memories of the Holloways. They want to create a space for healing and understanding, to honor the family's legacy and encourage others to seek support. On the night of the meeting, the room was filled with concerned faces, each person bringing their own memories of the Holloway family. As stories were shared, the community began to come together, realizing the impact the Holloways had on their lives. After the meeting, Maya stood outside, looking up at the stars. "Maybe this is the breakthrough we need. The community is rallying together, and we might finally get the answers we're searching for." Jake nodded, feeling a sense of hope. "We're not alone in this. The Holloways may have been forgotten by some, but they're not forgotten by us. We will find out what happened." As they continued their investigation, the detectives felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were determined to uncover the truth, not just for the Holloways, but for everyone who had ever felt lost or isolated. Their story was a reminder of the importance of compassion, understanding, and the need for community support. Finally, standing in front of the house at sunset, Jake declared, "We owe it to them to find the truth. They deserve to be remembered and understood." Maya nodded firmly. "We'll keep digging, no matter how deep it goes. Their story is not over yet." As the sun dipped below the horizon, the detectives knew that the mystery of the Holloway family was far from solved. Yet, they felt a sense of purpose, committed to uncovering the dark secrets hidden in the attic, and perhaps finally bringing peace to the restless spirits of the Holloways. And so, the investigation continued, leaving the door open for future revelations. But for now, the Holloway family story remains an enduring mystery, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of compassion. Thank you for joining us on this journey. As we continue to unravel chilling cases like this one, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more chilling true crime content. Your support helps keep these stories alive and sheds light on the mysteries that haunt us.